So that's this woman that's going to just let you know that her privilege is the reason why she didn't spend much time in prison for a crime that she committed. Let's go ahead and roll that.
The reason I didn't do hard time for armed robbery is not because I'm a woman. It's because I'm white. Now, if this makes you uncomfortable, I've tagged a creator below that I highly recommend you follow and educate yourselves. I'm not going to give you statistics. I can only speak anecdotally from my own experience, but I was in jail for 9 months and then I was in boot camp for 3 months for a crime that should have put me in prison. It doesn't matter that I wasn't the perpetrator. The justice system doesn't care. I was charged with armed robbery the same way my co-defendant was. And I entered the system with an immense amount of privilege. First of all, I was white from a middle-class background. Second, my parents hired an attorney who fought for me. I didn't have a court-appointed lawyer. And if I had, I promise you that I would have taken the first deal that they gave me, which was 4 years in prison. I was very naive and I was terrified, but I had somebody to hold my hand through the process. And while my co-defendant was 9 years older than me, who was also a repeat offender and had already been to prison, he was Black. My case sensationalized, it was on the front page of the news, and my judge could have made an example out of me, but he didn't. Now I was locked up with mostly women of color, and I watched one after another go to prison for lesser crimes than me. Many of them were in there for minor repeat offenses that were drug related and often included solicitation. There were 2 girls that I was locked up with who were charged with the exact same crime as me. They were 17 and 18, so we were all the same age. They got in trouble with their co-defendants, very similar scenarios. One was a first-time offender and the other had a juvenile history. Both had court-appointed attorneys. Both went to prison, one for 4 years and one for 5 years. Both were women of color. And this is just a small sample size. I was there. I watched it happen right in front of me over and over again. Nobody can convince me that the system is not set up to help people like me and hurt people of color.
You see, the reason why they fight for this system so hard and why they want to protect it, no matter if it's Democrats or Republicans, no matter what side of the aisle, is because this is the best system going for them. They have no other system like this throughout the world that would give them this much privilege, let them get away with whatever they do just for the color of their skin. The social currency of whiteness, it meets all things, right? That's why they want to protect it. They don't matter if they suffer in this system, which a lot of them actually are. They don't get their fair end of the deal a lot of times. They don't care as long as they can have that privilege over people that look like me and you. This is why, for me, as I told you, as I get older, I'm getting less tolerant of, their, particular privilege and system and things like that. And that's why I, enjoy now removing myself much as possible into areas where I feel that it's more conducive for Black people like me, which is, for me, being on the African continent is more conducive for people like myself. As you get older, and some of your brothers and sisters are maybe feel the same way, you just get tired of it. You get tired of seeing it. You know it's happening. Another white person's coming out and telling you it's happening. They're telling you how they benefit. We've heard it thousands of times, how they benefit. But then it gets to a point, okay, so what's going to happen with us in that situation, right? And the way it's set right now is that this system is set the way it is, and we either remove ourselves from it much as possible, even on a permanent basis if we choose to do so, or we try to find our little slice here in America that we can avoid dealing with it much as possible, which, for us is being in our own communities, avoiding dealing with them much as possible on some things. Because, and this is the crazy part about that, the moment we have our own spaces, our own neighborhoods, here they come. Because that's even the bad part about it, is because they feel they have to center themselves into everything. That's part of white supremacist culture. They got to be at the forefront of everything, even what we got going on. Even what you saw with that recent Black girl follow trend, they reported that trend to TikTok because they couldn't be a part of it. So when we have festivals or we have certain areas that say we want to have for ourselves, even in America, here they come complaining, saying that we're discriminating against them because we won't let them be a part of it. but they don't let us be a part of anything. They keep information from us. They treat us the worst of the worst, but we're supposed to include them in everything that we're doing. You see, like I said, for me, it just gets old, and that's more and more how I'm starting to see things, that it's just getting old. It's getting tiring. Seeing this system the way it runs and how it always do my people. And then what's worse is that this system wouldn't be the way it is if these quote unquote people of color wouldn't join in with them to make sure to uphold that system too. So like Dr. John Henrik Clarke said, we have no friends, because these other groups of people who you would automatically think would be more so on our side, no, they're on the white supremacist side, and they're cool with being underneath the foot of massa. They're cool with that. But we as black people are not cool with it. And that's why these other groups get mad at us too, even like when they get mad about reparations, is that we're fighting for something that's a dead old, and that pisses other groups of people off, because that messes up the hierarchy for them and possibly make massa mad at them that we're going to get reparations, right? So, yeah, we know this happens, but I just post these sort of things just maybe for the new people in the room that maybe don't even realize, and sometimes you won't believe unless it comes from somebody like them out of their own community. But y'all let me know what y'all think about what she's saying, because I've talked to many brothers and they've said the same thing she said. It'll be a white person commit the same crime, get less time, or ballot slap on the wrist. I mean, that's the way America works, unfortunately.